Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam परमानंदमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानजानशालाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनिते नाम्ने नमः आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम धारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिते नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 4 चैप्टर 6 टेक्स्ट 45। त्वं कर्मणं मंगल मंगलानां कर्तु स्वलोकं तनुषे स्वपरं वा अमंगलानां च तमिश्रम् उल्बनं विपर्ययकेन तद एव कस्यचित्। O most auspicious Lord, you have ordained the heavenly planets, the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, and the impersonal Brahman sphere as the respective destinations of the performers of auspicious activities. Similarly, for others who are miscreants, you have destined different kinds of hills, which are horrible and ghastly. Yet sometimes it's found that their destinations are just the opposite. It's very difficult to ascertain the cause of this. We did this yesterday. Then text 46. Navai satam charnarpitatmanam bhuteshu sarveshva abhipashyatam tava bhutani chatmani apritag didrikshatam prayena rosho abhibhaved yata pashum. My dear Lord, devotees who fully dedicated their lives unto your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being. And as such, they do not differentiate between one living being and another. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation. Purport. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes angry or kills a demon, materially this may appear unfavorable, but spiritually it's a blissful blessing upon him. Therefore, pure devotees do not make any distinction between the Lord's anger and his blessings. They see both with reference to the Lord's behavior with others and themselves. A devotee does not find fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstances. My dear Lord, devotees have fully dedicated their lives unto your lotus feet. Certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every living being, and as such, they do not differentiate between one living being and another. So we may wonder sometimes that what if we are supposed to renounce mode of passion, enjoyment, isn't it? All sense gratification. Then, but the mind rebels. Then, if I give up all this, what will I have? Will I be left high and dry without any enjoyment, without any pleasure, without any happiness? And the answer is that we will get mode of goodness happiness, which is what? Observing the presence of Paramatma in each and every living being, and not to differentiate between one living being and another. Whereas in the mode of passion, what happens? We distinguish. We see people as their bodies. And so We make a distinction. I like this person, I don't like this person, based on the body, because we see only the bodies. We see the bodies are different, minds are different, we are different. So there is a lot of differences is what we see. But when in the mode of goodness, we see only equality everywhere. Everywhere Paramatma is there. So that happiness is incomparable, where we can experience only the presence of Krishna. When you see others also, you see only Krishna in their hearts. That happiness is what is worth having, because it's always that you need a higher taste to drop the lower ones. No, if you don't know what you're going to get in higher than, in the higher level, then that is why we cling to whatever attachments, mode of passion attachments. We cling like anything, because we don't know, if I drop this, I won't have anything. But this is the happiness of seeing Krishna everywhere. And such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation. Right? That is what they only see the body. Animalistic thinking is only they are aware of the body. So naturally, they see the bodies are all different. When the Supreme, in the purport, Prabhupada is saying how, where the Lord is concerned, he, whether he chastises or he is pleased, both are equally good, because that is meant for our purification. A devotee does not find fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstance, because once we know the Lord is all loving, it doesn't matter what he does, it is love. He slaps on our face. Also, we think, oh, Krishna, he slapped me. But, in the sense, slap means not literally, but say something happened and immediately you get a punishment. And then you realize, oh, this is Krishna who's punishing me. He just slapped me tightly on the face. And you don't feel bad about it. You feel very elated and you feel very grateful to Krishna for taking care of you so nicely, for correcting you. So, like that, the Lord's behavior, they see both with reference to the Lord's behavior with others and themselves. Same thing. What he does to others also we notice. Whatever he does is for people's good. A devotee does not find fault with the behavior of the Lord in any circumstance, because they're only seeing Krishna everywhere, in every situation, that he is the controller. If we want to see him, he will make himself, he will manifest himself. He will show, this is all because of me only. This is what I did. And that is the excitement. That is the excitement and happiness we should seek, and drop all mode of passion, lower happiness down the drain. Just like, we were attached to eating so many things, right, which were not a mode of passion things, like maybe onion and garlic and whatever else. And then, because of Krishna consciousness, we dropped it and we were looking forward to eating nice prasadam. So we could drop it. So, in the same way, this mode of goodness, happiness, is to understand our spiritual identity and the spiritual identity of others. Then there is only love, soul to soul, is just the feeling of deep respect and love and mood of service and humbleness. In the bodily platform, what we do, we see all differences and we want to be on the top and show I'm better than you. That pride is there. And opposite of that, that is mode of passion, happiness. I want to show I'm the best. I want to show I'm better than you. That is, and on the other hand, mode of goodness, happiness is, we see everybody is equal and Krishna is the supreme, and we feel a devotional, feeling to serve him and to serve everybody who are part and parcel of Krishna. There is no desire to put oneself up. Rather, one takes a humble position that I'm only a servant. You are so great. We want to glorify others. And that gives happiness and tears in the eyes of devotees. They're always crying in happiness that out of such love. So Shiva is, they're glorifying Shiva, that But not just him. He is, of course, fully this thing, liberated. I mean, he is great. He is the Lord himself. But devotees who worship him develop this. They are able to see Paramatma everywhere. Pritak diya karma drisho durashaya parodayena hridrucho nisham paran dhuraktair vitudhanti aruntudhas tan mavadhid daiva vadan bhavad vidha. Persons who observe everything with differentiation, who are simply attached to fruitive activities, who are mean minded, who always pain to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them by uttering harsh and piercing words, have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you. See how very cleverly is coming to the point. Purport. Persons who are materialistic and always engaged in fruitive activities for material profit cannot endure seeing the flourishing life of others. Except for a few persons in Krishna consciousness, the entire world is full of such envious persons who are perpetually full of anxieties because they are attached to the material body and are without self realization. Since their hearts are always filled with anxiety, it is understood that they have already been killed by Providence. Thus, Lord Shiva, as a self realized Vaishnava, was advised not to kill Daksha. A Vaishnava is described as Para Dukkha Dukhi because although he is never distressed in any condition of life, he is distressed to see others in a distressed condition. Vaishnavas, therefore, should not try to kill by any action of the body or mind, but should try to revive the Krishna consciousness of others out of compassion for them. The Krishna consciousness movement has been started to deliver the envious persons of the world from the clutches of Maya. And even though devotees are sometimes put into trouble, they push on the Krishna consciousness movement in all tolerance. Lord Chaitanya advises Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarurapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Shikshashtaka, third verse. A Vaishnava should follow the examples of such Vaishnavas as Haridas Thakura, Nityananda Prabhu, and also Lord Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed, but it should be noted herewith that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. So, Brahmaji is coming to the point now that you are so exalted and your devotees are also exalted, and but there are some people who are very fallen. They are already destroyed, so please don't destroy him again, because he was killed and I mean chopped off by Veerabhadra, and they want to inspire Shiva to restore him. Shiva is capable of that, so that is why they come to appeal. They first glorified people, his devotees, who don't see such differentiation. And then they came that Daksha is different. He is only seeing differentiation and he cannot tolerate. He's so envious. He could not tolerate the opulence of Shiva, that he is so great and exalted. And then that is why he wanted to run him down, make it, I mean, with such mean minded. He said, who are mean minded, persons who observe everything with differentiation, was simply attached to fruitive activities like Daksha, only doing these karmakanda yajnas, that's it, who are mean-minded, who are always pained to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them by uttering harsh and piercing words, all describing Daksha. And then they're saying, hey, they have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you. So his servant only came and killed. So they're saying there's no need for that because he's already cursed. Because if somebody has such envy in the heart, how much suffering is there? Because it will not, the mind will be so disturbed and agitated. It will not be calm and peaceful. So he's already dead. So why do you have to kill him? The Krishna consciousness movement has been started to deliver the envious persons of the world from the clutches of Maya. And even though devotees are sometimes put into trouble, they push on the Krishna consciousness movement in all tolerance. So we have to, the envious people will harm us also when we are trying to preach to them. So that is why Trinadapi Suni Chena is mentioned that you have to be tolerant and patient and offer all respect to them. And a Vaishnava should follow the examples of such Vaishnavas as Haridas Thakura, Nityananda Prabhu, and Jesus Christ, how humble they were to preach, to approach the people. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed. But it should be noted herewith that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. That is the difference. Hanuman showed his true, is the completely angry mood he showed when Rama was insulted. But for himself, he never minded. Okay. Yasmin Yada, actually, he's saying that a Vaishnava is described as para dukkha dukhi because although he's never distressed in any condition of life, he's distressed to see others in a distressed condition. Vaishnava. So Vaishnavas therefore should not try to kill by any action of the body or mind, but should try to revive the Krishna consciousness others out of compassion for them. And Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, self-realized Vaishnava. That's why they're saying you must be, you should take compassion on Daksha. That is how a Vaishnava reacts when somebody does harm. He's just feeling, oh, sorry that why he's in this state, and they tries to revive because negative emotions can never give happiness. We may think somebody who's got negative feelings is not happy. Only when we come to the mode of goodness and see everyone spiritually, that is the only time somebody can experience happiness. Otherwise, mode of passion and ignorance always disturbing. Sometimes when we have sense gratification, we are very happy. And absence of sense gratification makes us very sad. And when we are sad and see somebody else happy, then we are very sad for why they are happy and I'm sad. Or we are also happy, but we see somebody happier than us, then also makes us sad. So there are so many reasons to feel sad in the material life. And a Vaishnava, that is where para dukkha dukhi. This last Sunday, one girl had come for the program and she introduced herself. She said she was working, I don't know, doctor or counselor or something in Nimhans. I think doctor, not sure. So she told that she feels so sad to see all people suffering, having mental health issues. And she started crying. She said, I don't know what to do, why I feel like crying. And, so much para dukkha dukhi. So, like that, her heart must be, she's a Vaishnavi. Yasmin yada pushkara nabha mayaya durantaya sprishta diya pritak drisha kurvanti tatra hi anukampaya kripam na sadhavo daiva balat krite kramam. My dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable, illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take them seriously, knowing that knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusory energy, he does not show his prowess to counteract them. Purport. It is said that the beauty of a tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. Parikshit Maharaj, for example, was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahmana boy, and this was very much regretted by the boy's father. But Parikshit Maharaja accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week as the Brahmana boy desired. Parikshit Maharaj was the emperor and was full in power, both spiritually and materially. But out of compassion and out of respect for the Brahmana community, he did not counteract the action of the Brahmana boy, but agreed to die within 7 days. Because it was desired by Krishna that Parikshit Maharaj agreed to the punishment so that the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world, Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. So, my dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead, so illusory energy is insurmountable even by devotees on their own. No, it said, Devi hi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Only by taking shelter of Krishna we can easily cross beyond it. So what we have to do is only desire. Krishna, I want to come out of this illusory energy. If we truly desire and beg Krishna and chant with all this thing, then he will help us to remove that curtain which is making us see all differentiations between people, and the pride and the ahankar. All these are products of Maya, and we're not able to see the truth. The truth is that Krishna is everywhere. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is in everyone's heart. Once we see that, then how we will feel like feeling envy and all that. All those horrible negative emotions will disappear. So, only in ignorance we feel all these. And so we must feel helpless. Oh, Krishna, please lift this illusory energy from my mind so that I can see you everywhere. A saintly person. And because of this, what happens? Materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses. Because of that, they commit offenses. You cannot say, oh, by chance. No. Because of illusion and seeing material differences and feeling envy, then naturally will commit offenses. A saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously. Normally, another materialist, he will get very angry. If somebody commits offenses, oh, go, I'm going to give him back, and, or something, he will take action. But a saintly person, he knows it is because of Maya, the three modes of material nature. They are envious. It's all to do with original envy towards Krishna. It's because of illusory energy. So he will not take it seriously, knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusory energy. He does not show his prowess to counteract them. He has got spiritual prowess. He surrendered to Krishna if he wants. If he just desires for their destruction, then that is it. There are some sages who curse, no, मैं तुम्हें शाप देता हूं, and then they will tell something. They can do that, but Vaishnavas never give sharp because they know that already they are an illusion and suffering. On top of that, you put one sharp. Sometimes Narad Muni gives sharp. That is for their well-being. He does not because he was angry with them for himself. As a benediction, he cursed, but otherwise Vaishnavas never curse. We have to check Even in anger, we should not unnecessarily curse people. But knowing that people are in Maya, they will do like that. And so he does not show his prowess to counteract them. And the example given is Parikshit Maharaj, how he could have, I mean, both materially, of course, he was a great king and he could have, arrested that boy and said, what nonsense, take back, or anything. He could have threatened him, anything he could have done. He, but he didn't do that. He could, or the Brahmana boy could have said, okay, I take back my words. That no, you can't take back the curse. Once it's come out, it's come out. Then he could have said the snake bird um, will. I don't know. He could have changed something of that sharp or something like that. Or spiritually, he is powerful. He's a pure devotee of Krishna. So, easily, Krishna could have counteracted. And he need not have died. But then Parikshit Maharaj knew that Krishna wants me to die. So let me die. That's it. He didn't take any action. Bhavam stupumsa paramasya mayaya durantya sprishtamati samastadrik taya hatat hatatmasva anukarma chetatis anugraham kartum iharhasi prabhu. My dear Lord, you're never bewildered by the formidable influence of the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you're omniscient and should be merciful and compassionate towards those who are bewildered by the same illusory energy and are very much attached to fruitive activities. Papota Vaishnava is never bewildered by the influence of the external energy because he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord states in Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. My divine energy, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. A Vaishnava should take care of those who are bewildered by this Maya instead of becoming angry with them, because without a Vaishnava's mercy, they have no way to get out of the clutches of Maya. Those who have been condemned by Maya are rescued by the mercy of devotees. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Those who are under the influence of the illusory energy are attracted to fruitive activities. But a Vaishnava preacher attracts their hearts to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So we have to see a spiritual thing, not taking it personally, and knowing that, when people are in Maya, they will be behaving in those ways. And instead, we have to elevate their conscious, somehow attract them to Krishna consciousness. So we have to attract their heart. And, this Guru Maharaj was making once, he was narrating that how when Prabhupada started this life membership program, so one person was the first donor, I think in Calcutta. And he was very proud of the fact, I am the very first donor, life member of ISKCON. And then meanwhile, another person came and he got his name put on the top and he said that he is the first. When this other person came to know of it, he became so upset. So Guru Maharaj was laughing, not in front of them. He was narrating how it happened like that. So what does it matter now, whether you're first or last, you are a member? Now, see, such frivolous things, people get so upset and fight. that is that is one example of Maya. Well, I mean, what does it matter? Okay, you can go around boasting, I'm the first, I'm the first. What does it matter? So, and that is illusory energy. And so, a Vaishnava preacher attracts their hearts to the Supreme Personality of God, it's Sri Krishna. Krishna is always like that. One who is more attracted to Krishna, he will tell them only, oh, forget it, yeah, leave it. Let them, they are only attached to all these material things. Why are you running after that? Like Prithu Maharaj, no, when he was doing all this yajnas, and at that time, Indra became very jealous because he had done 99 Ashwamedha yajnas, one more left. And Indra thought, one more he does, then he'll be equal to me. And then maybe he'll take my position. He's always so insecure. So he came he in the form of a sannyasi, and so that nobody will suspect. And he went and, whatever the horse which had been blessed and for the yajna, he released that horse. So it ran away so that they couldn't do the yajna. Every time, 2, 3 times he did this. So, and then finally they got the horse back, and Prithu Maharaj wanted to punish Indra by killing him. And that time, Vishnu came there, and Vishnu said, what is this? What does it matter whether you did 100 Ashwamedha Yajna or 99? Does it matter for you? You are a devotee, I mean, pure devotee. Prithu Maharaj is a Satyavesha avatar. Indra, for him, it matters. Oh, 100 I did, and I want this position. Prithu Maharaj is neither interested in being Indra or anything. Just leave it. So Prithu Maharaj immediately he surrendered and he said, okay, my lord, okay, I will stop with this. And Indra felt ashamed, but anyway, he cannot help it. He is still an illusion compared to, because he is still materially attached. So it's like that. Those who are out of Maya only have to give in. But sometimes that is for oneself. But if it is for the sake of other people, Vaishnavas, Guru, or the whole community or something, then a Vaishnava can also fight back. That is also there. Text 50. Kurva advarasyoddharanam hatasya bho tvaya samaptasya mano prajapate na yatra bhagam tava bhagino dadu uyajino yena mako niniyate. My dear Lord Shiva, you are a shareholder of a portion of the sacrifice, and you are the giver of the result. The bad priest did not deliver your share, and therefore you destroyed everything, and the sacrifice remains unfinished. Now you can do the needful and take your rightful share. Now they are saying, now you take your share. That time they were all afraid of Daksha and kept quiet. He is the shareholder of a portion of the sacrifice, and you are the giver of the result. Imagine such an exalted personality. The bad priest did not deliver your share, and therefore you destroyed everything. This is the difference between a karmakandi priest and a pure devotee. A pure devotee would have definitely raised this issue. How can we not call Shiva? I would have said, I'm not going to perform. Okay. I cannot insult Shiva. But all of them were attached to their positions and whatever the, the I mean, the great, this thing, honor of being priest of Daksha and doing such a big thing. Now you can do the needful and take your rightful share. Jivatad yajamano yam prapadyetakshini bhaga brugosmasruni rohantu pushno dhantascha purvavat. My dear Lord, by your mercy, the performer of the sacrifice, King Daksha, may get back his life. Bhaga may get back his eyes, and Bhrigu his mustache, and Pusha his teeth. Devanam Bhagnaghatranam Ritwijam Chayudasmabhi Bhavatanugrahitanam Asumanyosva Anaturam. O Lord Shiva, May the demigods and the priests whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers recover from the injuries by your grace. Very happy. Shiva is so Ashutosh. So they are requesting all these. They won't dare to ask anyone else. But they know Shiva is so kind and soft hearted. He will agree to everything. Eshate Rudra Bhagostu Yad Uchishto Dvarasya Vai Yajnaste Rudra Bhagena Kalpatam Adhya Yajnahan. O destroyer of the sacrifice, please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. Purport. A sacrifice is a ceremony performed to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, it is stated that everyone should try to understand whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by his activity. In other words, the aim of our activities should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as in an office, it is the duty of the worker to see that the proprietor or the master is satisfied, so everyone's duty is to see whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by one's activity. Activities to satisfy the Supreme Godhead are prescribed in the Vedic literature, and execution of such activities is called yajna. In other words, acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord is called yajna. One should know very well that any activity besides yajna is the cause of material bondage. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Yajnartat karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhana. Karma bandhana means that if we do not work for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, then the reaction of our work will bind us. One should not work for his own sense gratification. Everyone should work for the satisfaction of God. That is called yajna, and is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. And that is the difference between karma and akarma. When we work for our satisfaction in a pious way, if we follow the scriptures, but it's meant for our satisfaction, that is karma, and we work for the satisfaction of Krishna, then there is no binding, no karma, akarma. After the yajna was performed by Daksha, all the demigods expected prasada, the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Vishnu. Lord Shiva is one of the demigods, so naturally, he also expected his share of the prasada from the yajna. But Daksha, out of his envy of Lord Shiva, neither invited Shiva to participate in the yajna nor gave him his share up after the offering. But after the destruction of the yajna arena by the followers of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma pacified him and assured him that he would get his share of prasada. Thus, he was requested to rectify whatever destruction was caused by his followers. Such a grave thing, and that too such a great Vaishnava like Shiva, to be dishonored like this, offended. Naturally, all horrible things happened over there. Because he did that yajna mainly to insult Lord Shiva. That is why, because in the previous yajna, after the marriage of Sati, Shiva was there, and Daksha thought he will go there, and at least now my son-in-law will pay obeisances to me. He had that expectation, and Shiva again didn't do that. Only Sati offered obeisances. He just stood like that. So he was really incensed. That time, okay, he was sitting in another yajna, he was sitting and meditating. And then that time also Daksha got very angry. Now this time he was not meditating. He came with his wife, and again he didn't. So then Daksha decided, now I'm going to have a really big yajna. I'll call everyone except him. So then he'll be really insulted. So that is, but uh, so that is why he wanted to take revenge on Daksha by not giving him the share. And they are asking Shiva, please pacify. And yajna is very important because yajna is meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu. and any activity undertaken for the pleasure of Krishna should never be stopped. In Bhagavad Gita 3.11, it is said that all the demigods are satisfied. Sorry. In Bhagavad Gita 3.11, it is said that all demigods are satisfied when one performs yajna. Because the demigods expect prasada from yajnas, yajna must be performed. Those who engage in sense gratificatory materialistic activities must perform yajna, otherwise they will be implicated. Thus, Daksha, being the father of mankind, was performing yajna and Lord Shiva expected his share. But since Shiva was not invited, there was trouble. By the meditation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was settled, sorry, not meditation, mediation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was settled satisfactorily. The performance of yajna is a very difficult task because all the demigods must be invited to participate in the yajna. In this Kali Yuga, it's not possible to perform such costly sacrifices, nor it is possible to invite the demigods to participate. Therefore, in this age, it is recommended Yagne Sankirtana Prayet Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Those who are intelligent should know that in the Kali Yuga, there is no possibility of performing the Vedic sacrifices. But unless one pleases the demigods, there will be no regulated seasonal activities or rainfall. Everything is controlled by the demigods under the circumstances in this age. In order to keep the balance of social peace and prosperity, all intelligent men should execute the performance of Sankirtana Yajna by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One should invite people, chant Hare Krishna, and then distribute prasada. This yajna will satisfy all the demigods, and thus there will be peace and prosperity in the world. Another difficulty in performing the Vedic rituals is that if one fails to satisfy even one demigod out of many hundreds of thousands of demigods, just as Daksha failed to satisfy Lord Shiva, there will be disaster. But in this age, the performance of sacrifice has been simplified. One can chant Hare Krishna, and by pleasing Krishna, one can satisfy all the demigods automatically. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the fourth canto, sixth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Brahma Satisfies Lord Shiva. That's wonderful. Please take your portion. And Brahma, it required someone like Brahma who is very peaceful and he is not envious and he's very humble. So he knew how to please Lord Shiva. And it's saying that how Yajna, Daksha was doing Yajna for the benefit of people. And Yajna is very important. That is why all our Vedic literature, mostly it's all about performing Yajna. All the three Veda, I mean, all the four, in fact, yeah, especially the three, the Rig, Yajur, and Samaveda, all performing yajnas to satisfy the Lord by chanting all the mantras. Brahmanas were always doing that. And in this age, because there are no such good Brahmanas, and we are not even having enough money to do all that, and so he has made it. Imagine, even that we don't want to do. At least do Sankirtana Yajna. So simple, nothing. You just have to sing together and give out prasadam. We have to do more and more. Have a lot of Sankirtan programs in different homes all over the city and also in the street Sankirtan and park Sankirtan, wherever we can. We should promote this and distribute prasadam. That's all. And that is so powerful. It is the same result that we get out of doing all this yajna performance in this age simply by doing Harinam Sankirtan and distributing prasadam. Krishna is so satisfied. Yajna means satisfying the Lord. The Lord himself came and said, this is what will please me. Just sing Sankirtan, that's all. Then, how is it a yajna? Because we wonder, see, in a yajna, we are spending so much money. And it's really an austerity, and then brahmanas are coming and so much, a lot of activity, a lot of efforts we take. And chanting Hare Krishna, it's very enjoyable. We just sit and sing. So we feel, how can this give the same result like that? But Sankirtana conquers the mind. When we chant Hare Krishna, it is a tapasya because the mind is coming under the control of Krishna. So it is a yajna. Yajna removes the power of the mind over us, and we are associating with Krishna. So it is tapasya. I mean, in the sense that it is also satisfying Krishna very much, that we are rejecting Maya and we are accepting him. That is the yajna, that is the sacrifice. I'm sacrificing Maya, I'm sacrificing sense gratification, all selfishness, I'm sacrificing, and I'm saying, I want to serve you, Krishna. That is the biggest yajna, because it's higher than even those yajnas, because those yajnas, mostly we want material things. But here, we are saying, I want to be a servant. We're not even asking him anything. So naturally, Krishna will be very, very pleased, and automatically everything good will happen. So we have to have that faith, and we have to purify. And the best tapasya to do is chant more. More chanting leads to better chanting. That is the only tapasya we need to do. If you see what tapasya we are capable of doing, and all these big, big tapasyas we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they'll go and meditate for many years or many months at least. They go to a forest and sit and meditate. How long we can meditate? Even, I don't know, 1 hour of meditation, even we can't do. So the only tapasya, or no, fasting, how long we can fast? They just, all the sages, they'll go and sit and meditate and then just drink water, eat roots, fruits, or even not that, only leaf or only air. Such great tapasyas they did. We cannot do anything. So the only tapasya which is prescribed for us is to chant the holy name very, very sincerely, attentively. That is the biggest yajna and tapasya. We have to be very sure about that. Sometimes, people get very excited about doing some physical austerity. Why only telling chanting, and then sometimes, if okay, you can do physical austerity, it's good. It helps you to control your senses and all that. But if your body cannot take it, then it's okay. The most important thing is to surrender and chant Krishna's name, glorify him, listen to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and serve him. Serve all the devotees. Serve Guru. That's all. Actually, it's very easy, but it's difficult also, because we have to desire it first of all. Do we desire to be a servant of Krishna, or we want to be an enjoyer? Enjoyer is in the mode of passion. And that's why we resist so much. What will happen to all the enjoyment I'm trying to get? Everything I have to give up for being a servant of Krishna. But servant of Krishna gives mode of goodness happiness, which is far, far, far. It's like gold. And this is just silver. And iron is mode of ignorance. So gold is so very attractive and pure. So that is why we should be attracted to acting in the mode of goodness, only doing everything as yajna for Krishna's satisfaction. Then the whole atmosphere will become so purified. That is when devotees are acting like that for the satisfaction of Krishna. Krishna says if 1% of such population exists, then golden age will come, Satya Yuga. In Satya Yuga, the Brahmanas were performing all sacrifices, and there was so much peace and prosperity and abundance. And that is possible now. Also, if we all act as Brahmanas and chant very nicely and as a yajna for Krishna, then suddenly we will see all amazing things happening by Krishna's mercy, all good things. Okay, I'll stop now. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? If there are no questions or comments, then I wanted to share a little bit about, because I was really very curious to know. Because yesterday, Mataji, Krishna Mata Yashomati Mataji asked me, what does Islam talk about?